Human mind cannot live without God. That sounds odd. It's a very interesting concept. Our mind has a dependence, an innate dependence on a God figure. What am I talking about? When you look back, man always finds God, or the other way around, God finds man. So the atheist, and when you look back at the history of atheism, the atheist always had to have a God figure, because the mind cannot work. Our human nature, so to say, depends on God character, God behavior, God organization, and God control. So how did the atheist find God? The atheist gave him a name, okay? And you've heard the name, but you didn't realize what it was. You heard Mother Nature. Who is Mother Nature? Who is this character? This comes about due to the dependence of man on God. So they had to fill the space. And to fill the space, they created Mother Nature. So you see, it's in his nature. Okay? When things happen, the person who believes in God says, it's in God's nature. God decided that this happens. God set it up this way. God chose this way. Now the atheist wants to deny that. So they create this fictional character because of their dependence. Because they still depend on God. Human interaction, human thoughts, human consciousness depends on God. There has to be a character. So they create Mother Nature. They give it a female, make it female for obvious reasons. Because if they make it male, then they believe the people of the religions would immediately recognize that that's God. Because the religions typically call God, He. Not because God has any sex, because God comes before sex. Sex is created. This is creation. Male, female, that's creation after the Big Bang. God comes before that. And, Christianity, they call God Father, Abba. So you name God Mother Nature to confuse that, but to preserve the role and capacity in the making of choices. So they want to preserve that role, that capacity of God as the figure that makes choices. They name God Mother Nature. So you hear them say natural selection. So, it's nature that selects. It's a natural disaster. It's nature that destroyed. They are replacing that. Now they can't just say, random disaster, because nobody will relate with that. They themselves can't relate with that. They can't say random selection. So they say natural selection. Nature did this. Nature did that. Mother Nature is in control. That's God, you see. But they want to deny God that role. They don't want to give it that name. So they say Mother Nature. But they do realize that the mind needs to appreciate that it takes a high intelligence to make the selections that are assumedly random. So when you talk of natural selection, and you talk about the design of your hand, you talk about the design of your eye, you talk of the fact that man is here so beautifully structured. Animals are there. You don't have the crazies, you have errors, dinosaurs. But now there's nothing so large anymore. It's not like it couldn't exist, but it doesn't exist in our way, creating a perfect path for us. It's not like we killed the dinosaurs, but why don't we have these monsters anymore? So there's some perfect format that made the world perfect for us to be that ultimate race, that ultimate species. It's perfect. Selections happened. Okay? Selections happened. So the atheist knows those selections are perfect. The guy who coined the word Big Bang, the scientist, coined the word Big Bang, mathematician, said the probability of random events creating a single living cell is the probability of a Boeing 707 being in a junkyard, torn up in pieces, and wind blowing it together into an aeroplane. So you have to have selection. That selection has to be very, very perfect and organized. And then to deny God of being the one who made that selection, but to still attribute intelligence to the selector and name her Mother Nature. So nature selected those qualities to lead up to perfect man. Nature selects things to happen so the world didn't destroy while it was being formed, and so we are here. Nature. So this is the nature of the atheists, agnostics. They believe in God. The only thing they do is they change the name that they used to refer to God to Mother Nature and still bow down and expect perfect laws from nature. Never a law that there's never a faulty law. Not once. They've not seen a single faulty law. They expect, they calculate, they invest on finding and bet on finding a next perfect law and a next perfect law, like laws of gravity, stuff like that, that controls the earth because they can count on nature's laws to be perfect. So the atheist has this thing, they just need God. If you watch this debate between Richard Dawkins, one of the common atheist prophets, call it prophets because they make money, kind of profit, and Ben Stein, an amazing debate. And after Ben Stein lets Dawkins, challenges Dawkins with the facts, Dawkins is like, yes, he does recognize that in the perfect nature of existence, DNA, biochemistry, that these things are next to impossible by random events, by Mother Nature. So he says he does recognize that there might be an alien footprint on man. He believes in aliens. That's his link to God. He leaves it at the aliens because he knows these things. A Mother Nature that's not an intelligent being cannot do them. So he puts it to aliens. So that's the nature of the so-called disbelievers. Very interesting. Thanks for watching. This is Dr. Peregrine O'Brien.